Exactly, yeah. I mean, you see people come in here with suits or whatever, or people that are dressed up real nice. They get in here and they're comfortable, and they're themselves. I think it appeals to not just people who are artists, but I think anyone can relate to this place because we were all kids at one time, and I think that's what this place is about, really. It's like a big playpen.
Wow, the Dude Ranch is just so cool. It really is. I mean, I can't help it. Yeah, good idea. Did you bring a checkbook or any money to buy lots of art with?
Major credit card. Yeah.
Has the Dude Ranch made any spiritual change in your life?
Well, I do feel guilty when I go home the next morning.
Guilty?
Guilty. Guilt. Shame. Remorse.
The interview is this.
Is the Dude Ranch a suitable alternative space, according to you?
A Dude Ranch is the alternative space. It is alternative space.
I noticed the T-shirt you're wearing. It's the same image that's on the invitation.
You should have seen some of the looks I got from this shirt today.
At a bluegrass.
Oh, where were you today?
At a bluegrass festival.
They gave you dirty looks because you had a dead horse on your shirt?
Oh, they love the shirt.
Great, cool. Is this your first visit to the Dude Ranch?
Oh yeah, certainly, yes. You can tell I'm transfixed. This is wonderful. Great artwork.
Well, thank you. I'm checking out. I'm really impressed with the artwork here. Thank you. Do you believe the Dude Ranch is a suitable alternative art space?
It's more than suitable. It's, how can I put this? There's no words to put this, actually. In fact, the words escape me for how suitable it is.
Pardon me? T-shirts?
Yes, I do.
These are the coolest T-shirts I've ever seen. Can I buy one?
You sure can.
$50 too much?
No, sir, they're only $5.
I want it.
I'll take one.
I want it.
I'll take one. That sounds really great, fellas.
Okay.
Do you think so? Do you think there's a problem with the galleries not really showing, being able, for a lot of these artists not being able to show their work at these galleries?
Yes, because they gear more to like the tourists from New York, and they want nice Florida scenes and stuff like that. I believe that there is a market for this. If there was someone like that wanted to open a place on Main Street that these artists could show all the time. Because I don't see why not. I mean, all the art here can stand.
What do you think of the artists at the Dude Ranch? Do you believe they're professionals or they're being a dead horse?
I think they're professionals.
Okay, same thing. What do you think about this place?
I love it.
You love it? Why do you love it?
Because I think it's healthy. Everybody's having a good time, but yes, you can still see a professional atmosphere here, and I definitely, people put a lot of work, and I see it.
So, Greg, why did you come to the Dude Ranch?
I just know some people, and this is where the new movement is right here, man.
Is this your, so why did you come to the Dude Ranch this evening?
Well, I've worked with Larry and the guys before. I produced other events called CONET, and they've showed at some of the stuff that I've put on. They've always been a great attraction. I love their stuff.
Well, I haven't gotten a real chance to look at it, but I think the photography.
Do you have a really good feeling while being here?
Absolutely. Good aura. Good atmosphere.
Say that to camera.
Good aura and good atmosphere.
All right. I believe the Dude Ranch is a suitable alternative space.
Yes, I think so, because it presents art in a fashion that people aren't used to seeing it in, and it's always in a refreshing mode, and I think that's important.
Did you see the gazumbas on her?
So tell me, sir.
It's here, and they cleaned the floor from the last time, and I brought my own beer, just in case.
Art's the only thing there is. God. What?
Do you believe the Dude Ranch is a suitable alternative space for art?
Absolutely. The dudes are the best, and I'm not kidding. No, I really am not kidding. These people have talent out their ears, and they're going to make it big. Just you wait and see, people. They're conquering the world, and it's true.
What exactly is happening here?
Well, there's a lot of exciting artwork. It's exciting artwork, exciting people. It's a wonderful place to be. It's where there's a lot of goddamn crap in Sarasota, and here you're going to find some new, exciting, alive stuff. People are alive that are doing the work. The work is alive. You know, there's innovative, there people are thinking, it's where it's at.
Like in the first grade, probably, like in the Philippines, sitting around, being bored. You know, decided copying things out of things that I like, drawing things. You know, art was like my childhood friend or something. You know, it's like you can make your toys or whatever. You know, you don't have to. You know, you just use your imagination. You know, I wasn't really into like even the material stuff when I was little. You know, I just remember like drawing things. You know, like how little kids would have like little soldiers or something. I used to be able to, you know, my dad would like bring home a pile of comics or something, you know, and I'd copy out of them and cut those out, cut the drawings out, and you know, stage your own scenes or whatever. The bulletin board stuff that I've been doing, I want to expand on that. Right now it's only about a third of the way through. I'm gonna get about 6 boards worth, and have about 500 individual drawings in it, and I pretty much came about with that. I wanted to do a large piece with more than a single image, you know, instead of 1,000 words describe a picture. I wanted 1,000 pictures describing one picture, you know, or one word. It doesn't, I titled it Releasing the Chronic Brain Cramp, which is taken from kind of like a Zen attitude, you know, of releasing all the little facts you have in your head going around, you know. It's like everyone has these facts going on all the time, all these thoughts and images going on in their heads all the time, but they have it in a system. Everything's got to be one after another, you know. So I wanted 1,000 images or 500 images and thoughts hitting you at one time, and how people deal with it, you know. What do? They start to the left and go to the right hand part of the piece, or do they step back and look at the whole thing? You know, what do they do? You can pretty much tell how their thought process are, you know, going up to the piece. Anything could insult someone, you know. You could draw a duck and they'll probably insult someone, you know. It's every individual will react to something differently, and I just want to. That's one of the things that a larger piece, you know. It's more than that. It's more than one-sided. You know, it's a circle with a bunch of sides in it. I went to art school to learn how to draw. You know, wanted to not learn how to draw, but maybe see how, you know, how things are. You know, wanted to be at a place where everybody else was drawing or everybody else was into art. Kind of grew up in Fort Myers, and that's pretty much well, you could say culturally dead wasteland of.
So it's hard to find a group of people where you live currently that share your interests.
Right, I lived in Fort Myers for like around 12 years, and you know what, they have the little painting class or something, you know, landscape painting classes, but that's it, you know, and that's what you would see in their galleries, you know. I mean, we're in a tourist land. We're in tourist land, and all the artists are tourists.
How do you believe culture is spreading in Florida?
I think it's there. I mean, look at all the immigrants ending up in Florida. You know, there's going to be look at Miami. You know, it's a culture-wise, Miami's different. The East Coast is different from the West Coast in Florida. But I try not to look at boundaries anyway. I just kind of I look at everyone individually. The Bible's a good piece of literature. there's through the ages of art, I guess the Bible is the most represented book and most misunderstood book, and I think everyone thinks the other person misunderstands the Bible or their Bible. I consider, to me right now, I don't consider myself a specified religion. I'm not in any specified religion or anything like that. I'm more into the individual as reaching towards their view of perfection, you know. I think that's what religion is. I think the Bible is like a handbook, and it's not a law book, you know. It's not a book of laws. It's a book of helpful hints.
It's not. In other words, they've never been here before. They don't know what to expect, and they're really impressed by what they see. And it was all through word of mouth. You know, a friend of theirs told them about it. That, you know, and they're actually, art is a motivation to come here, not the party or the music or all the people being here. It's more like, I heard that you guys were having a show, art show, so I came, and that's the best. I don't know if the motivation continues the way it's going, and somehow we can reach that public that we don't have, that is out there, that would really enjoy this, but it just isn't informed about it. It would really progress a lot. But you know, one of the problems is just it's a stereotype of art school hangout and stuff like that. I feel really good that we invite other people to show, and it keeps a variety from just our work, and that excites me a lot, especially for a lot of artists that can't show anywhere else and are not part of this, get that chance, you know. I think that's tough. I think it makes the show look really good when we have the different medias, you know, when we have the photography and some sculpture and you know, mixed media and painting and drawings, you know, and your pen and inks and stuff like that, and the conceptual art that Toki brought in. That's like it makes it more complete. It makes it more full. It's not seeing it a bunch of flat surfaces. Not that that's bad, but it really, you know, pleasing a lot of different interests right there.
What other stuff have you done?
I like people, journalism, and portraits and essays, documentary essays. Well, no, I've been around in different places, but that's a longer goal, is to travel the world throughout my life, little by little. Like right now, I'm here. I don't want to go to one place, and you know, because I have money, I can take a trip to New York and photograph there and come back here. You know, it's covering too much at a time. You know, I'm interested in this place right now and what's happening here, and I'm happy here. It's a good attitude. We rule the world.
First visit to the Dude Ranch? No. Usually I have to step over a bunch of empty beer cans to get here. And a bunch of maniacs. Is that true? Yeah, it is. You guys are a bunch of maniacs. Maniacs? Yeah. Are you an artist yourself? No. I make my living trying to make art. But you appreciate art. You know it, man. You know it. You guys are good, okay? And you guys create good art. All kidding aside, you know, you're doing something a little radical here every once in a while. And I come here because you guys are good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Doctors' offices should have this kind of art in their places. I mean, aren't you one of the artists that's showing at the Dude Ranch tonight?
Yeah, my name's Toki.
I'm so glad I moved here from New York, and I'm so glad that there's a space where people can show their work, more the underground network. I'm just really excited that Sarasota has an underground art scene.
Great. Thank you very much, Al. It's just a really fun place to come, and it gives a lot of the artists a place to go, show their work. You know, I have stuff here too.
You're showing some work?
Yes. I got 2 pieces in.
Great, great. This is a line, okay? Stay in line for an interview. Okay.
Matt, so this is a great advantage, a good alternative space. Oh, yes, very good alternative space.
To the Dude Ranch?
No, I was at other openings at the Dude Ranch. I really follow the Dude Ranch as I do follow most of the galleries in town.
Great. Now, how do you compare the Dude Ranch to other galleries in town?
I'd say the Dude Ranch has got a more open concept of art, and there's not a lot of shrivels hanging around the hors d'oeuvres, you know, that get in the way of looking at the pictures. And nobody says anything nasty like I could do that.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Dude Ranch from the point of view of someone who likes to come and enjoy what goes on here, participate in what goes on here, and in a sense, if you want to say, is it something that is worthwhile? Yeah, it is. It's a very important statement that you're making. What do you think?
I think so.
It's an incredible vortex of human creativity. It's like another dimension.
They're blocked for miles around. Police are in the driveway directing traffic. It's a nice turnout.
Why do you come to the Dude Ranch?
It's cheap.
Cheap?
That the Dude Ranch is just the place for the new people at Ringling to come, and the old, and it's the place for all those in Sarasota who come to relax, have a cup of coffee, have a stale beer that's been around for a while, and enjoy the cultura mecca of artists that thrive in this atmosphere. And I think it's great, and more power to you. And
it's true, yeah. The Dude Ranch is very bohemian, but it like pulls you in a it's not like a bad thing. It's not like everybody's getting drunk and saying, oh, let's get fucked up and draw. They're saying, let's do something different than anybody we've ever seen. And that's good, because nobody in Florida does that kind of shit. It's cool. It's just totally cool.
Pasteurized, non-dairy product, coffee, whitener. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Is it cream or is it coffee whitener? Is it paint?
Me, really, I don't mind staying here, showing here for the rest of my life. I'll always want to show at the Dude Ranch. I'll be certainly excited about showing somewhere else, like another building, different galleries, you know. Dude Ranch, sure, I'd like the attention, and I'd really get into hanging the show, but
you don't have to clean up afterwards.
Wouldn't have to clean up. I'd really like to hang at school, but you know, right now I just like to get over this headache.
Well, do you think that
as a lot of people have their idea of the way things should be, and if no one else is exactly the way everything should be, according to them, then they get upset, and they get an ulcer. The way I am is against that kind of thinking that is restricting spiritual as well as intellectual growth in the human race, and I see a lot of it everywhere I go. And I think, you know, there's a little bit of that hindering the growth of the Dude Ranch.
How do you keep Dude Ranch going? You know, how do you pay the rent and stuff?
Well, I got a roommate. He got a job.
Where do you work at?
I work at the Ringling Museum of Art.
Is that, what do you think? Is that,
John and Abel.
What do you think about it?
I think that it's a very good job to have.
What do you do?
I feel like I'm learning about framing and about how an exhibition. What's happening to me is I'm learning the right way, and so now I'll know the right way, and maybe one day.
When putting a show together.
Yeah, putting a show together, and and that's and like you said before, it's sort of becoming what I was rebelling against.
Well, maybe
because I'm
like
keeping a job.
Have a way of improving that, though. Improve the way they.
Yeah,
the right way of people show.
Right, I think I'll learn that and do it my own way, the way I think is right for me.
Different place. There.
Oh, I believe there's the artist that lives the artist life, and then there's the patrons that live the patron's life, and have this artist as their token, interesting person, and I own a piece by this person, and that's just fine and dandy because that's the way it works. But
doesn't have to be.
But these people that have their little artist, they also have their supposed way this artist should be, and it's not always that way. And sometimes when they find out that it's not that way, then they're turned off. I believe there are paintings that are that are more important to me than other paintings, and in a particular instance, I did sell 2 paintings that I wanted to keep for myself.
Why?
Because I like them. And I guess maybe if he had offered me more money, I would have sold them. I think the whole idea is to make money with your artwork, and I would sell a painting for the right price.
You would?
Because usually if someone's going to pay a lot of money, they're going to take care of it. I know the formula to make a painting that people will say, oh, good. That educated people will say, good. But I don't necessarily want to follow that all the time. Because I want to push the formula a little bit. Chris, on the other hand, he puts on blinders and he goes to town for an hour or 2, or maybe even a half hour, and it's very, very
spontaneous with this stuff.
I wouldn't say spontaneous. I would say he's like a sandblaster when he works. Well, I used to take painting classes when I was 12. That was the first time I had any lessons. Some drunk guy that used to teach painting, did floral painting, flower painting, that sort of thing. And he had me copy German Expressionism, Emil Nolde and that sort of thing, Otto Dix, Max Beckner. That was kind of to just start copying paintings. I think that's where I had an interest in just the materials, just the rawness, working with brushes like that. And I copied a lot of paintings. My first paintings were copies. That's what I, with oils anyway. I think I'm more influenced by writers, I think, than I am painters, really. I mean, I can look at other people's work and be inspired as far as how they work the materials and all, but I think a lot of times, I think writing, even music more so, I think inspires me to work. I get more ideas for paintings from music or writing than I do other art. Charles Bukowski, for one. I get more ideas for paintings and assemblages from him than I do, I think, painters. What I'd like to do at some point is to have about 5 or 6 themes that I can develop. You know, the boxes being one of them, and just to be able to go back to a different theme all the way through, you know, your career as an artist. If you can develop 5 or 6 themes, you can jump back and forth. You always have something, that structure, rather than just to just. I'd like them all to fall into 5 or 6 different areas or themes, you know, that you can build upon. Because I think a lot of times, you know, people could paint 1, 2, 3 good paintings, you know, but if that's all they do, then it's not an idea that's followed from A to B, you know. And I don't think, I think growth is what's more important than anything, is to get from one point to another. As you get older, as you experience more things, it's going to change, and I don't think you can do that any other way but to work. I mean, even if what you're doing isn't a good piece of art, it's when you're dead, it's all going to fall into place. It's all going to be in chronological, from one step to another, one point to another. That's what it's about for me, I think, growth. And I think understanding yourself. I think most artists, don't you feel that it's trying to understand who you are? I think a lot of times, just to take action. I think if it's one thing I learned from working with John Chamberlain, is you have to just act, just do, just work, and you can analyze later, you know. And it's all not going to be good, but things will start to happen, like on a cognitive level, where you know, things will happen just intuitively, and that's, I think that's where the value of art is, right there. When you start to function on that level, when you're not really thinking, and all the things that you know and that you've learned are coming to the top. And you're not in any really control of it. It's just happening. And, you know, you can analyze later. You know, you can, or leave the analyzing for the critics. I mean, exactly. I think that's what, just the silence and the space around it, and then just a dramatic lighting, just to create kind of a religious feeling. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but I think the objects that I make are in some way religious, or spiritual, I should say. As, you know, not really religious, but they have that feeling, I think. I could see him set up in a chapel, sort of altar sort of thing, you know, where people could just, where it was quiet and you could just sit and look, you know. Just, there is something silent about what I do. I mean, when you look at it, even the way that the foam is twisted and the way that the paint goes on, it's something about it that's still. It's like something was moving, but you're, like a photograph. It is very still, you know. It has that kind of feel to it. What do you say there, dude?
It's a real bitchy kind of mistress, the airbrush. It's real tricky. It's a real pain in the ass. There's a lot of little tricks to it, and a lot of people make it look like they're using a lot of tricks to it. I do basically freehand airbrushing, and I'd use like a layering technique with my colors. And for me, it works well. To do that kind of work with oils would take me forever, but with an airbrush, it still takes me forever, but only half as long.
So time is a big consideration in the way you work, the way you're working.
Yeah, for me it is. I like the immediacy of the airbrush. I like the feel of the tones and the colors. I've also found a black color that was never meant to be used as paint, but it works really well through the airbrush, and since I found that, I've been just going crazy. Right now I'm really into a kind of, I've always been into ancient culture, and for a while I was using a lot of Chinese symbols and Oriental symbols, and now I've been studying a lot of Egyptology and the hieroglyphics, and I've also started getting into a little bit of their religion and their beliefs, at least what was written down in the books that I've used as reference. And I've been really, something about the winged scarab and the scarab image has really stuck in my mind, and I've been trying to use that. That was one of their life images, one of their life symbols, and use that as a life symbol and play that against the skulls for the comic book cover, and also the sketch that I also did in oils here, and playing them off of one another and playing off the body and soul, the life and death. I'll pretty much do what I do whether people like it or they don't. Some people love it, some people hate it, you know. Some people think I'm a hack, and some people think I'm a genius, and I figure I'm somewhere in between, you know. Place to show my work, I would really like to do a complete environment. If I was going to do a show for myself, I'd like to do a space and just be able to totally control the whole environment. I would like to be able to control the sights and the smells, the lighting, the sound, everything about the environment. I like to look at life through the eyes of a 5-year-old. A lot of people say I do, but it gives me a fresh view on things, and I really. 5-year-old with a broadsword from hell. I don't know. The band and the art show being synonymous. I don't know. It's every time we've had a show here, we've had a band here, and sometimes more than one. Sometimes we brought up bands from Fort Myers. Sometimes people that hadn't played together in a long time get together and play. Sometimes we just get together and just have a nice little jam. This weekend we had a performance piece going on in the kitchen. I thought that was great too. I think anything that adds to diversity and breaks away from the standard boring gallery trip is great. As far as the Dude Ranch goes, for me, having the music and the art and the performance and the people and everything getting crazy and the whole atmosphere, the thing that makes the Dude Ranch what it's special for me. Yeah.
Hey, can you say that a little louder, please?
It's rolling art.
Rolling art. And can you tell us more about this experiment?
Well, we started out with a vehicle that was parked here at the Dude Ranch, and well, it's kicked off so well, we're just painting every car in sight.
And is this what is the purpose of this? Is it just an aesthetic purpose, or is there any deep meaning to it?
We're trying to add a little bit more beauty to our streets, you see.
And you think this is beauty?
All these mundane vehicles driving around here, and well, you know, when we add a little touch of color here, a little creative slogan there, we think we're adding a little bit to the aesthetic pleasure of every motorist on the road.
Mr. Conchola.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Is this an international effort?
Yeah, I guess there's people involved from everywhere. There's people from Philippines. Larry Fort is an Italian. You are from Santo Domingo. Yeah, I guess it's kind of an international effort.
What is your philosophy?
We don't have any philosophy. We just follow every philosophy around. You know, we're free. Philosophy is freedom.
Wonderful. And this must be Raf. Raf from the Philippines.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, Raf, I hear you're a really modest guy, but I hear you're a wonderful artist, and you got wonderful stuff at the Dude Ranch show.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So why did you pick orange to put in this part?
Because it's the only one that has the most paint in it.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. And what are your feelings about this rolling art?
Well, the truck itself.
You're painting vehicles.
This is kind of like the Olympics of truck painting here.
Is this something that happens every certain time of the year, or it doesn't happen except today, or what's the deal with this?
Once we get like a volunteer vehicle.
I see. So for viewers at home, should we announce that if anybody has a vehicle they want to paint this way by all these world-famous artists, they can just bring it on down to the Dude Ranch, which is 2723 North Tamiami Trail. Can you tell us more about your show?
No.
Why is that?
Hey, I'm working, man. You're disturbing me, dude.
And this is our cameraman, Mr. Forte, please.
Hello, how do you do?
Why are you filming?
Because I love the Dude Ranch, and I want God to recognize the Dude Ranch.
Why do you love the Dude Ranch?
I love you, honey. Don't interview me. I'm just learning how to use this damn camera.
Well, you start with an idea, and you just start building the canvas. You know what you want. You don't know what it's going to look like. And just keep on building up until it starts working and it starts looking good. That's basically it. You start with something and you never end up with the same with what you thought you get in the first place. Like, I think a lot of people that paint at the Dude Ranch go through that. I just feed on it. It's like driving a car. You just can't stop it until it's finished. That's pretty much it. Just to do it, I do it, you know. who says why an artist does what he does, for nothing. Yeah, so. We all beat dead horses. Who doesn't want to live off of painting? I guess it's a Hollywood idea, art. You go in with the glory, Even when you're in art school, you think you own the world. You do, man. You see the young students, they really, you can tell, they just hungry. That'll last about a year or two. And then you know if you're an artist or not. Yeah, I'll always be doing it. Storing it and hopefully selling it, but I'm not good at promoting. That's why the Dude Ranch helps out all of us.
What do you say to people that
What a place, huh?
How would you compare the Dude Ranch to different... Oh shit, not the Dude Ranch. We should be talking about here, but...
No, the Dude Ranch is what it's about.
Well, how would you compare the Dude Ranch to galleries around town?
Well, it's... What gallery? If you're not from out of town, they don't want to touch you, I think. Or you got a big name. And there's plenty of good painters around here. The biggest painters in the world live around here. And they help out.
Who are some of your influences?
Living or dead? No.
Living and dead.
Goya, Gauguin, Modigliani, Klee, and Toby, Rauschenberg, Jasper Johns, any artist that makes it is good. Except for maybe nowadays. It's too fatty for me now.
What do you mean by that?
Well, my favorite artists are artists that are timeless. They don't follow a style. They're like so unique that their art lives. Like Paul Klee's stuff still looks like it's it's done today. So contemporary, yet it was done in old, and it's so antique. There's the ticket. That's about one. That's what my art is. It is experiment and textures and medias. There's always that time. Gauguin goes to Tahiti. Goya goes deaf. Rembrandt doesn't make any money. Vermeer paints for food. Gauguin leaves his wife. Again goes on.
Do you think money?
Toulouse. You make your decision and you follow your path. There's no turning back.
Money.
Duchamp. He retired for chess. I don't like that. He retired. He's the only artist I know that really retired. Well, it's no gallery here, that's for sure. But people get to see our work. That's basic what it comes down to. I'd rather have it here than in the bank, I'll tell you that. Like we would. I could just see a bank with this stuff in it. I wouldn't put my money in it probably.
I went to graphic design school for about a few months. And then I went to art school to learn how to paint for about 1 month. And then ever since I've been painting just on my own. I don't believe that learning something is bad. If you can use knowledge and can improve the way you do things, it's absolutely valid, and you can still do a lot of creation using or learning from somebody else. I just don't feel like doing it that way. I wanna create something that comes from absolutely nothing, probably just from absolutely inside me. I think it's even a lot more fun that way. I have a little bit of an idea, I put a canvas, grab my painting and start putting it out. I don't even know how it's gonna look when I finish it. And it's a lot of fun. Drink a little bit of beer and have a good time. I don't know why I have this crazy idea that I wanted to do paintings. to make people angry. I didn't want to make paintings that appeals to people. I wanted to make paintings that people would go like, wow, how ugly that is, or that would create a feeling of anger, of discomfort today. And but you know, you get involved in the art scene, and you start getting, you know, a little bit trying to reach somebody, you know, you feel that move that hopefully somebody will still like what you do, you know. So my painting changed, and I still do it in a way that I like to express all the feelings I have, and I don't try to be moved by the idea of to do something that everybody's gonna love, you know. It's still free and fun. But I mean, it's flattering when somebody tells me that they like my paintings, you know, because it's still something that was mine. Yeah, my father always encouraged me when he knew that I like to do art. It's so fun. I haven't seen them in a long time. They send me pictures of my house, and they have all the paintings that I did in Mexico. They have them all hanging around the house, which is pretty cool. Because they are not pretty paintings. Well, I like to be remembered like somebody that did something with his life that was different, and also besides the fact if I am remembered or not, I wish that I can do something in my life that can grow up and expand to some other people, even if my name is forgotten, you know. I wish that there could be like a slow movement of people where the whole idea of this is changing the way things are now. You know, it would be kind of fun.
I've got to drive the dudes in town to see a movie. Why don't you come along?
Of course, we're going to be at this party. Everybody's going to be talking really loud. And they're going to be really, really excited. And